I've got my red robe on, so let's review. I've got my red robe on, so let's review. I've got my red robe on, I'm gonna say who's right or wrong. I've got my red robe on, so let's review. Hello, 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 YouTubers, social media all across the land. It's your boy D. To some, that's Dwayne. And to some, that's the Diesel. To some, that's the D. That's only for the family. Welcome to the Rare Rare Review, where I review and discuss content that resonates with me. And I have so much that I wanted to cover. So let's get right on to it. We had the presidential debate, Joe Biden against Donald Trump. And I must say, I found it to be very, very entertaining. I found it to be very informative. And I found it to be extremely telling. And I am not here to persuade anyone which way to vote, but we all were able to see what happened. We all were able to hear what was being said. We were able to hear, if responses were true or not. We were able to hear if responses were complete or not as well. So I think that with all that we were given, we should definitely, as citizens and as people with the right to vote, we should digest it. I really, really think that we should kind of, journal about it, really, really process within ourselves what we saw and process within ourselves what we're feeling and just where we're being directed to vote. And, vote accordingly to what you feel on the inside. Again, I don't know any political candidate, including any of the two men that are running for president, where I completely agree with on everything. I don't know, in those two men where I I don't know if I completely agree with any of the things that any of them say. There are points in which I'm sure I find disagreements amongst both, but this is the choice that we have. I think it is a bit ridiculous that at this point people are calling for candidates to kind of drop out and replace this one and replace that one and this, that, and the third. I think we are far, far, beyond that point on either side. Had that would have been something that should have been done, it should have been done prior to now, and now is not the time for it. Whatever side you are on, this is the candidate. So I strongly advise everyone, for the sake of American politics and democracy and all of what we stand for as a country, that you stand by your man. Stand by the person that the party has selected and vote for the person that you feel resonates with you and that you feel is going to do what is best for the country. That's really all I have to say about the presidential debate. Honestly, I'm not here to, again, rip either one of them apart. I felt like both of them could have done a better job. I felt like the debate could have been a lot more intellectually delivered. It could have been delivered better. I felt like the presentation from both of the men could have been a bit more scholarly. And I just really, really, I really want intelligence, articulence, and critical thinking, empathy, courage. All of those things is what we need in our strong leaders and people that hold the most powerful positions out there. Um, I just don't. I just think that again, we all must take in what we saw and do the best that we can do with it. And I'm trying not to be all down about it or whatever. But honestly, I'm just bored with it at this point. It's not really exciting one way or the other. So yeah. But I know who I'm voting for, and who I am voting for is my business, and who you vote for is yours. So hopefully we both make the right choice, or we all make the right choice. Another reason why it is extremely important to make sure that you make the right choice about who the president is because the president puts, who they nominate, or the president gets to elect a nominee for the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court within the last couple of years have been making decisions that have been very, very historic, have been very, very impactful, and positive or negative is not even really the point. The point is that certain decisions or certain things that are even viewed as decisions that should be made by the Supreme Court all depends upon who's on the Supreme Court. And when you get people that have a perspective that is not in the best interest for the country, that can be very, very damaging to the future of the country. And again, I'm not saying how I feel about the Supreme Court or any of the decisions that they're making one way or another, because that's not important and that's not the purpose of this. What is important is the fact that the decisions they make can be impactful. So we need to make sure that we are putting a president in the position of power that will elect people that we think will make the best decisions for the country. So, yeah, that's all I really want to say regarding this Red Robe review. I really just want everybody to get out there and go vote. And just know that no matter what, America's strong and we're in this together. And no matter what, we will always be okay. Till next time, Red Robe Review.